Hey everybody, I'm attorney Mike Contant. A question I'm often asked is, when can the police use a drug-sniffing dog on you? And as you might expect, the answer is going to differ depending on the circumstances. For instance, when you're driving your car, if the police stop you for any valid reason, it could be because they have a suspicion that you're committing a crime, or it could be just because speeding or some other civil violation. As long as you're properly stopped, the police can walk a dog around the exterior of that car, and that's not even considered a search under the law. They're allowed to do that. They don't need a warrant or any suspicion of criminal activity whatsoever, because they don't consider you to have a reasonable expectation of privacy and the dog sniffing around the exterior of your car for illegal drugs. All right. However, conversely, consider the same type of search of your home. That is considered a search. So the police just aren't allowed to walk around your house and your yard and your front porch, even if they don't go in with this drug sniffing dog, absent having a search warrant to do so, or probable cause and some really good reason. They call an exception to the warrant requirement, has to fit into these narrow exceptions to do so. So they have to have at least probable cause and usually a warrant if they want to use a drug sniffing dog on the even on the exterior, what they call the curtilage of your home. All right. Now, think of another situation where you might be walking down the street and the police stop you and they want to use a dog to sniff your purse or your backpack or luggage you might be carrying. That's a whole different animal. Now, under those circumstances, they would have to have what they call reasonable suspicion to stop you in the first place, and particularly to believe that you have drugs of some kind within your bag before they can use the dog to try and sniff your bag. Now, even if the dog alerts on the bag, meaning that they smell some drugs and they alert the police officer that they believe there's drugs in the bag, the police still can't open that bag. They have to then use that information as well as the information they had before to go try and get a search warrant before they get to go in your bag. So there's all these different circumstances where the police may or may not be able to use a drug sniffing dog to search you. To sniff you and essentially search you. However, what's really confusing is, can the police use a drug sniffing dog to sniff you? You know, not a bag, not your car, not your house, but your person. And unfortunately, in Massachusetts, there's no clear case on this just yet. My belief is that if brought before the court, what they would likely do is say, obviously you have to have reasonable suspicion to stop that person in the first place, to make them submit to this type of search, unless they consented, obviously. Have some reason to stop them, and then also have at least reasonable suspicion, if not probable cause, before they let the dog sniff all over you and your chest and your pants and all that other stuff. They would need some particularized suspicion to believe you had drugs on you. That's my belief. However, I got to say, and let's preface this to say that the courts haven't really come out with a clear decision on this in Massachusetts. So if you have any questions about when the police get to use a drug sniffing dog, or search and seizure, or privacy issues, please feel free to give me a call or shoot me an email. I'd be happy to speak with you about it. Thanks and have a great day.